starting off with explaining. Really?
Know how to identify a meltdown, and if you know causes, then try to keep them from those areas, or if you have to go there, then try to go to any measure to try and to minimize the effect of the trigger. Like if it's a smell, mask; if it's hearing, headphones; if it's sight, like really bright lights, then sunglasses. There are a lot of different ways of minimizing triggers, but all of them matter.
Anything that works.
Yeah, anything that works for that specific autistic person, because it's different for everyone. Anything that works for them specifically, you should immediately do. I would say don't even experiment once you know something. Just immediately make sure to turn to that if they're having a meltdown.
Like autism parents often talk about to be 2 or 3 steps ahead of everything that happens, to just try to prevent meltdowns and try to prevent your autistic child to get into situations that are so painful that it actually triggers a meltdown.
Yeah, just having a toy with me calms me down and usually prevents a meltdown from happening, even if I'm triggered by something.
Yeah, and it's familiar too.
Yeah. So even if something that would trigger a meltdown happens, the idea that I still have my plushies near me would instantly calm me down. So I usually...
That makes me a bit jealous, because I would like to bring my teddy bear too. I can't really do that, and I have no excuse.
Or if something happens and it seems like the rumble stage is starting, don't make them feel guilty about it. It's not their fault. It's literally out of their control.
And it's not a stage where you should shame somebody.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's probably the worst stage to...
Rumbling is a sign of distress, so...
Yeah. Like, rumble stage is probably the moment when you definitely should not shame them. Just make sure they feel safe.
I also think that, you know, when we talk about all these things, I just realize now how important it is to understand autism, because you can go wrong in so many places along the way to a meltdown and in a meltdown, and you can cause a lot of harm when you're actually trying to help. Right now in Sweden we have a case of an autistic man who is non-verbal. He was really badly treated because one of the people that worked with him made it personal. I can't even talk about it. I get so upset.
They basically grabbed him. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah,
they grabbed him
and held him down.
Yeah.
And everything, because they made it a personal... That's the whole thing about this. Why make autism personal? It's not personal. It's not personal for you.
Yeah, that's the whole problem with autism and the people trying to make themselves the victim. It's like, you're not the victim. Don't make yourself the victim. You're really selfish if you make yourself the victim.
And it's not about a person trying to manipulate his or her surrounding. This person has a meltdown and it's very painful and very scary. So trying to make it a question about who's winning.
It's almost, I would call it abusive to do such a thing.
Definitely. It is.
Because you're making everything about yourself and not valuing the struggle of the person themselves who went through that. Like, something as painful as a meltdown, and you're making it about you. This goes back to a thing that's been going on the internet, which a lot of autistic people are really mad about. There's a thing going on where people film and post their autistic relatives or friends' meltdowns, taking that friend or family member's most vulnerable moment in their life and posting it on the internet is disgusting to me. A moment when, if it was me, I wouldn't even be able to move or speak for myself, because I'm so mentally overwhelmed. The fact that they take that and just post it on the internet for everyone to laugh at.
Yeah.
Like, for example, say if you had been in this situation where you have had all of your strings pulled, all of your buttons smashed into, and you're overwhelmed, everything sounds way too loud, you're, like, everything hurts, your breath won't work, your breathing won't work, you can't, like, see very well because you're about to cry. Imagine if you were in that situation and someone next to you pulled out their phone and filmed it and then posted it on the internet for everyone to laugh at. How would you feel? Having the entire internet laugh at you while you're not even able to function. Would you laugh? Goodbye, stay safe. Next time we're going to talk about social skills.